Some viewers may find this disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hi, my wonderful sweet babies. It's Destin Choice, and you're watching Choice TV. Now, I'm going to be making some fucking French toast. And while I make some fucking French toast, I'm going to be telling y'all about this disgusting pig of a man, Mr. Boosie Badass, Mr. Boosie Boo. If y'all haven't heard of him, he's a washed-up rapper who hasn't had a hit in like 12, 15 years. And since his music isn't selling anymore, social media made him an activist. Why do people keep making these disgusting black men, especially rapper black men, the pack leader of the community? Hell, I'll never fucking know. And before I go any further, I just want to point out how I think it's interesting how gross and disgusting black men like Snoop Dogg and Meeky Mill can go around ostracizing people like 6ix9ine, who definitely deserves to be ostracized for snitching, being a rat, and being a bad person, but will not keep the same energy for people like Boosie, who literally perpetuates nasty pedophilia. But I'll explain that later. But basically, while I make my fucking French toast, I'm going to break down what's going on. So if y'all didn't know, Little Boosie decided to go on live last night, and he wanted to talk about the fact that he got his 12, 13, 14-year-old son and his nephews some head.
I'm training them boys right. Ask any of my nephew. Ask any of them. Ask my son. Yeah. They were 12, 13. They got head. Yeah. That's how it's supposed to be. Yeah. Hell yeah, I got my fucking son dick sucked. You fucking right. Yes, a grown woman. Grown, super grown. Super grown. Checked his ass out. Checked all my nephews out. Super grown. Is she grown? She checked me. I know what the fuck she did to them. I'm getting them prepared, man. I'm training them boys.
But of course, some way, somehow, social media is going to find some way to cut this, slice it, bop it, twist it, and turn it into something of, y'all are just too sensitive. It's not that serious. Y'all should be worrying about your own damn kids. Imagine if he got a grown man to take his underage daughter's virginity. He is sick. And then a man replied, nah, that's different. Then in the midst of Boosie getting dragged, somebody said, guys, people are dying. You know, it's crazy because there were actually men who were actually sticking up for Boosie, and there were like legit grown-ass black men who were sticking up for Boosie, going around saying, oh, it's not that deep, it's not that serious, social media too sensitive. Disgusting. And anyone that's going to sit up here and try to find some way to excuse Little Boosie's actions, you're disgusting, and I hope you never have kids. Let me tell you why this is fucking gross. Now, long story short, if you guys didn't know, around 3-4 months ago when Dwayne Wade's daughter, yes, I said daughter, Zaya, came out as trans, Boosie, along with several other celebrities, reprimanded Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union, and the whole world basically dragged Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade for allowing Zaya to be trans. Now, y'all remember this infamous video.
I gotta say something about this shit, bro. Dwayne Wade, you going too fucking far, dog. That is a male. A 12-year-old. He might meet a woman, anything at 16, and fall in love with her. But his dick be gone. How you gon'... Like, bro, you going too far, dog. Don't cut his dick off, bro.
Now, I find it funny how when Boosie did that video, I'll say a good 60% of the world was like, oh yeah, he's speaking facts. He's speaking facts. That's child abuse. You know, I even got into a whole argument with my own brother about it. And a lot of people were saying, nah, Boosie was speaking facts. Boosie is a pig. He's disgusting. And let me tell you why. This is the same man who threatened to basically have his daughter killed.
What? Oh, no, I want to know what is it?
This is y'all king? Boosie's getting dragged right now on Twitter, but of course it's not trending because y'all know the biased ass blogs like the Shade Room and the Breakfast Club and all these other whack ass platforms are not going to report on it simply because a lot of them have some type of loyalty to these black men. And some way, somehow, if they were to report on it, people would turn this into a whole, we're trying to tear people down. Now, how would y'all feel if this was a female?
I'm training them boys right. Ask any of my nephew. Ask any of them. Ask my son. Yeah. They were 12, 13. They got head. Yeah. That's how it's supposed to be. Yeah. Hell yeah, I got my fucking son dick sucked. You fucking right. Yes, a grown woman. Grown, super grown.
How would y'all feel if Toya, decided to say when Reginae was 14, 13 years old, she got grown-ass men to fuck her because she wanted her to feel it, to see how it feels, to get a taste of it. Oh, all of a sudden it's not okay, right? So this is the problem with a lot of men in society, where they have these such misogynistic views, where they see it as a lot of things like this. Oh, it's not that serious. It's not that serious. Yeah, that's normal. That's men. Men is different. So this is my problem with people reinforcing that toxic masculinity bullshit. And I did a whole video on my main channel about this. People love to use toxic masculinity to their advantage. You know, they use it as an excuse to treat women like objects, and it's fucking disgusting, and I'm tired of it. So I find it funny how a lot of people aren't going to hold Boosie accountable, and people are going to find some way to give him a pass for this, only because Boosie's one of the realest out here. He's one of the realest out here. He put on for the South. Oh no, that's just how people from the South joke around. People from the South joke around like that all the time. You know, just a ton of fucking mushmouth bullshit to excuse fuck shit behavior like this. And it's just like, no, like, this is disgusting. You know what I think? All the men that are going to sit up here and say that this is okay, these are the same men who are using this type of behavior that Boosie's using as homophobia therapy. And let me tell you why this is what I like to call homophobia therapy. Boosie is homophobic. Boosie is scared that the media is going to some way, somehow infiltrate his children's mind. Infiltrate, because you guys know people have this, you know, this huge mindset where they think sexuality is something that can be taught. Because anyone that thinks sexuality can be something that's taught, clearly you're a homophobe, because sexuality, this isn't even an opinion, sexuality is something that you're born with. Sexuality, fuck, should I use almond milk? I don't know if almond milk is a good option. What do y'all think? I'll put some more milk in here. Anyways, sexuality is what's on the inside. All it takes is a Google search, okay? Google is a friend. Don't come on here saying, oh, the media is gonna infiltrate y'all. That's not how sexuality works. Sexuality is on the inside. Now, a lot of people, of course, are going to say, whoa, Boosie has a right to do that to his kid. That's his parenting style. Okay, cool. And Boosie has the right to take his ass to jail right next to R. Kelly, because this is some rapey ass shit. Now, how would y'all feel if he was saying this shit about his daughter? Oh, that's just weird. Men are different. How are men any different? How is it any different with a man versus a woman? In my personal opinion, I think boys and girls should be raised the same. Because I noticed that there's a profuse pattern of parents teaching their daughters how to keep a man. Like, I've seen numerous girls have told me that their mothers would tell them things like, oh, no, you can't wear stuff like that. Oh, you can't wear stuff like, oh, why would you wear that? Oh, no, you have to do your hair like this. Oh, no, you have to be able to clean and cook so that way when you have a man and you have a husband, you can do this and this and this and that. That's toxic. That's toxic. We're teaching women how to be loyal providers and how to be objects to their man. It's disgusting. People need to get out of this fucking box and wake the fuck up. Stuff like this is not okay. Ooh, maybe I shouldn't have put butter in here. Oh, God. The butter's just making it oily. Do y'all put butter in y'all batter when y'all make French toast? I've never done this before. Anyways, so I find it funny how a lot of people never talk about all the negative reinforcement that's being taught to a lot of these young girls to be loyal providers to these grown-ass men who going to turn around and treat them like objects. You know, it's funny how people love to say, oh, rape is wrong, sexual assault is wrong, women are objects, but then turn around and be okay with behavior like this. See, this is why when you go out in public or when you go out in general and you see men feeling as though that it's okay to grab women by the waist, to touch women, to treat women like objects. You know, I even heard instances where sometimes a man will approach a woman, try to get her number, and basically he will feel as though, he will feel offended when the woman turns to him down. That's why whenever you see a woman walk down the street and then the men say, man, fuck you, I don't want your number anyways, bitch, you ugly as fuck. Y'all know how some dudes be. But basically, the reason why a lot of dudes do that is because they feel offended that an object isn't coming to them. It's like it's like they treat women like objects, like dogs that are just supposed to come to them and just be at their feet, and it's gross. And this is what Boosie's teaching his children. He's teaching his children that it's okay to look at women as objects, as sex objects. He's like, oh, nah, this is okay. He should be able to feel it. It feel good. Because according to Boosie, I don't know if y'all remember this, but he did an interview a couple years ago where he basically addressed that he did lose his virginity at a young age. And basically, he enjoyed himself. The same thing goes for Lil Wayne. If y'all didn't know, when Lil Wayne was 11, he basically lost his virginity to a grown-ass woman. And then he came out about it years later and said that he loved it. Chris Brown is another one. He never said anything about loving it, but Chris Brown came forth and said that he was sexually molested and he was raped when he was 8 years old. And he said he basically had sex with a grown teenage girl. The same thing goes for R. Kelly and Carrie Kelly, Robert R. Kelly's fucking disgusting brother. Both of them were both assaulted and raped by their big sister. And guess what? A lot of people never talk about the rape and sexual abuse that men go through because of toxic masculinity. So I find it funny how people are going to say, no, y'all took it out of context. Yo, y'all took that the wrong way. How the fuck I take this out of context?
I'm training them boys right. I'm training them boys right. Ask in there my nephew. Ask in them. Ask my son. Yeah. They were 12, 13. They got head. Hell yeah, I got my fucking son dick sucked. You fucking right. Yes, a grown woman. Grown, super grown.
Oh, but I'm not done yet. Did y'all also know that this isn't the first time that Lil Boosie has done some fuck shit like this? If y'all didn't know, back in 2017, yes, back in 2017, he did the same thing. If y'all didn't know, he posted up a picture saying happy birthday to his son, and this is what it was.
Love you, son, with all my heart. Pops, 100. See you tomorrow. Got a bag for ya. And a bad bitch to give you some head.
So basically, his son had just turned 14, and he said, congratulations, you're turning to a man. I'm going to get, a bad bitch to suck you off. Now, after he got dragged and people threatened to call CPS back in 2017, he went on TMZ, like the little dumbass that he is, and was like, nah, I was just fooling. He probably did have to get head, though, but I was just fooling.
I was just clowning on Instagram, really, I was just really clowning. I ain't gonna go get him no head, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna bring nobody to go get him no head, but if he want to get some head from a girl, he's 14 years old, I'm cool with it. Yeah, I was fucking at 14, so, it's.
But of course, that was a fucking lie, because fast forward to now, look what he's saying. This is gross, this is disgusting, this is dangerous, and people out here that are just not going to hold him accountable, like Charlamagne's dirty, disgusting ass, Charlamagne's a good example. When Boosie Boo said some fuck shit like this back in 2017, Charlamagne didn't give him Donkey today. Charlamagne didn't hold him accountable. But then again, what do I really expect from Charlamagne? Charlamagne is the same dude who didn't hold T.I. accountable when T.I. said that he wanted to, check the hymen of his 16-year-old daughter.
Right? Because the masculine qualities T.I. is displaying here are logic and reason and action and being firm, and I would even say survival. But those qualities need to be balanced with the divine feminine qualities of nurturing, being gentle, emotional, and probably patience, because I don't think T.I. was wrong. I just think it needs to be a balance of both the sacred masculine and divine feminine
to each other so she can come to you about anything.
The conversation starts now.
It shouldn't be like, I'm scared to
until you are married, okay? Because you're going to hell if you have sex before marriage. I know your mom and daddy did it, but we didn't know any better.
But hey, what do you expect from Charlamagne? He is a rapist.
I got this girl real drunk, and
that sentence sounds a little fishy. I got her drunk.
I didn't just get her drunk. I remember I went to the sex store and got Spanish Fly.
Oh, so you raped her?
Shut up. Spanish Fly. They sell it in the sex store. I'm telling the truth. They sell it in the Spanish store. I had the fucking.
They sell knives at the store too. You could put that to a girl's throat and have sex with it. That doesn't mean it's illegal.
So I put the Spanish Fly in the E&J. We drinking the E&J and shit. So in my mind, I don't know if this shit really worked, but I felt like I got horny as a motherfucker too. Right? So she was drunk as shit, and we had sex and shit, and like. A lot of my boys was trying to come in the room and fuck her. I'm like, nah, chill out. I can't. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to run a train on it. That's rape. Yeah. Okay. So
it's just one-on-one. It ain't rape.
Yeah. So the next
trains are rape.
So the next morning she wakes up. And we talk about it. And she's like, what happened? I'm like, we had sex. She said, okay, well, I'm glad it was you.
A girl just said, yo, at least you raped me.
I didn't rape her. I did not rape her.
Hey, if it was any of your cousins or friends who have been raped,
I didn't rape her because me and her had every intention of having sex with each other.
So then why would you put the Spanish Fly?
I'm still a freaky motherfucker, but
was she passed out while you fucked her?
Nah, she wasn't like. She was like one of those drunks where. She was one of those drunks where like. She was one of those drunks where she was like. She wasn't coherent, but she was up.
Charlamagne is great at what he does. He's very entertaining. He's a funny guy, incredibly talented. But Misogynistic men are pretty much everywhere. So this is why we gotta stop putting all these men on pedestals and assuming that they should be the ringleader for the pack. Especially rappers, where they're the ones who reinforce the most fuck shit at all. You know, they're the ones who reinforce the most misogyny. They're the ones who reinforce the most nastiness amongst, you know, young boys. You know, the reason why a lot of people look at women as objects is because a lot of people look up to these male rappers. But, you know, that's really what sells, so I understand. But it's just really fucked up how the media is not going to report on this. Everyone's going to be very biased toward the situation. I'm disgusted, I'm appalled, and I'm even more in shock that people were so quick to condemn Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union for being disgusting and child abuse. But where's the conscious community at now? Where y'all at? Because I know y'all watching this, because there's a ton of YouTubers who identify with the conscious community who love to go around saying, there's a whole bunch of gay men raping little boys, it's an agenda, but then turn around and are silent when it comes to negative reinforcement, like toxic masculinity being enforced into these boys. But of course, you know, you're going to have the men who are going to sit up here and say, oh no, you know, little boys need that, it's going to come natural to them anyways. But this is just y'all way of reinforcing homophobia. And this is what y'all are doing. Y'all are putting these boys in these nasty situations, forcing them to be sexual. So I'm just tired of all the misogyny. I'm tired of these nasty, disgusting double standards. And I'm so fucking sick of these conscious people, these fucking pro-black people who love to go around saying, oh, it's not that serious. See, this is why I say that this is why I always say that when it comes to things like civil rights, equal rights, I don't think the world is ready for that. I don't think equal rights or civil rights is going to help the world. I think what's going to help the world is conversations that need to be had. You know, people are quick to say things like, oh, you know, if a woman rapes a man, it's not that serious because that means the guy wanted it. Like, I had a friend one time from a long time ago. We're not friends anymore. Fuck her. But long story short, she was basically on the phone with her boyfriend, and she was asking her boyfriend how he lost his virginity. And long story short, she said right in front of me, well, he said on the phone, oh, I was raped. I was like 9, 10, and I was raped by a teenage girl. And basically she said to him on the phone, oh, it's not technically rape if you wanted it. Disgusting. Disgusting, disgusting, disgusting. See, this is the problem. This is why many men who have been raped never come forward. Because there's a lot of men who have dealt with sexual assault and rape in the industry, in their childhood, but they just don't. It just never gets talked about because people only talk about the women. People think that it's only women that could be sexually assaulted, but this is the perfect example of rape. He is a fucking disgusting creep. He is a pedo. He is gross. He is disgusting. And the fact that he's so involved and wants to know so much about his son's getting his dick sucked. Like, the fact that he wants to know so much stuff and that he's openly homophobic and he's openly transphobic and he's a washed up rapper and people turned him into an activist. It says a lot about the world that we live in right now that a lot of people just aren't going to condemn this kind of fucked up behavior. Fuck anyone that is okay with this kind of shit. Just nasty. Just disgusting. Hope some people never have kids. The people who are defending this nonsense. Just fucking gross. Because it would have been a whole different story. It would have been a whole different story had this been Lil Boosie's daughter. But of course, you know, some people did call Child Protective Services, which is good. And there are other people who anyways, yeah, there are people who call Child Protective Services. There are people who call CPS on Lil Boosie, you know, as they should. You know, a lot of people went on Twitter and said that they reported Lil Boosie, which I'm really glad people did, because this lie right here was disgusting. And the fact that he lied about it 3 years ago and said that it was all fake, and then now he's openly admitting it. And guess what? This ain't the first time he's admitting it. He's admitted it before. He's admitted it before in the past, after the backlash.
Scouting for my son. I'm scouting for my son. I need a pretty little girl in Atlanta, bro. For real, man. It's time for him to get a girlfriend. For real. It's time for him to get a girlfriend, dog. For real, dog. Trying to raise my son like he no fucking... It's time for him to... He's 15, man. It's time for you to get a girlfriend, man. I got all my nephews. I got your dick sucked out when you made 15. Yeah. You gotta let them feel it. You gotta let them feel it. Yeah, man. You gotta let them feel it, man. 15, you be freaky at 15.
Freaked out.
Oh, yeah. All them girls be freaky at 15. That's when they start getting dick. All the women on my line, let's keep it real. If we got some real women on my line, when you got your first dick? Watch all these 15 and 13. Why? I need all the ladies on my line to answer this question. When you got your first dick? Let me hit that, boo. When you got your first dick? Brown skin say 16, 18.
Once he got blackballed, once he realized his album wasn't selling, Boosie just said, fuck it, I don't care no more. Because I remember when he was crying like the little bitch that he is about the fact that his album wasn't selling on some, oh my god, my album isn't selling.
I know y'all like to see me act a fool and shit, but we gonna act a fool tomorrow. Everybody log back on tomorrow. But I only want to see 300 people on here. The 300 people who done bought my shit. I don't mean no harm. If you ain't on this bitch, get your pussy ass off here. If you ain't support, I ain't lying. I act a fool tomorrow now. But if you ain't support Badass 3.5, can you please exit my live? That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. If you didn't support my album, can you? Why are my numbers not going down? Why are y'all not getting off my fucking live? If you didn't get my album, could you please get off my live right now and check back in tomorrow?
Oh my god, unfollow me. If you ain't buy my album, you ain't a fan. This is a whole bunch of nonsense. And I'm disgusted with this fucking world. Fuck civil rights, fuck equal rights. People need to have real conversations. We're way away from that. People don't want civil rights or equal rights until they can find some way for it to benefit them. That's what people want. People want rights that benefit them. They don't want equal rights or civil rights for all of them. Because if we're going to want equal rights and civil rights, we got to be honest if we want privilege or we want civil rights. I want the trans community to be treated equally. But unfortunately, a lot of people don't share that same mindset. You know, unfortunately, we have way too many people who have that whole mindset of, well, you know, that's not my problem. I don't care about those other issues. Reparations this, reparations that, but we're not even worried about the other people who are a part of oppressed groups. That's what I find so interesting. So until we have these difficult conversations, civil rights, equal rights is out the fucking window. Because people keep forgetting that when Martin Luther King was marching for civil rights, he meant civil rights. He didn't mean black rights. So this is just disturbing and disgusting, and I hate the fact that people just see it as, oh no, that's different. If it's a woman and who wants a boy, that's different. That's gross. And I really guarantee everyone to understand, I want everyone to understand in general that predators come in all shapes, forms, and sizes. Men can be predators, women can be predators. And I encourage everyone all across the world, I don't care if you live in Canada, what state you live in, I want you to do me a favor and go on your state, type in, basically go on Google, type in the city you live in, or the state you live in, or the country you live in, and then type in sexual predators. So if you live in Alabama, type in, I don't fucking know, Mobile, Alabama, sexual predators. Or if you live in Detroit, just type in Detroit, Michigan, sexual predators, and then basically it'll show you all the convicted sexual offenders, and it'll basically show you how far they are within like a 100-mile radius. Because every time sexual offenders move all throughout the world, they have to constantly tell the parole officer, they have to tell the government that they're moving, they have to tell people where they're going. So, because I looked it up where I live, I looked up sexual offenders where I live and how far they are. Bitch, I literally got sexual offenders who are literally living like within a 10-mile radius of me. It's fucking insane. So before, or for those of y'all who have kids, or before you decide to have kids in the neighborhood that you live in, please look up the sexual offenders list, the sexual predators list, and find out how far they live from you, because you'd be surprised, because they literally show you a whole map, and they show you the dot. You see all these dots on the screen right here? These are the dots of all the sexual predators who live like within a 25 to 30-mile radius of me. Scary, right? And it's not just men, it's women too. Whew, just a ton of disgusting people on the internet. I hope some people never have fucking kids. Shame on these people for trying to teach their kids, especially these men trying to teach their sons, to be fucking homophobic. What these people should be doing is teaching these men how to respect women, how to look at women as their equals. You know, the fact that Boosie even did shit like this and thought it was okay, that just shows, this shows exactly why he's single, exactly why he's a little miserable little fucking prick who's doing nothing with his life. We're trying to be an activist. And guess what? Social media gave it to him. Social media gave him the platform to be an activist. Social media created him. You know, he makes great fucking music. And although, you know, a lot of people are going to try to argue about, oh, he is a legend. You know, he is a legend. Bitch, I only know fucking 3 songs by Lil Boosie. I know Mind of a Maniac, Wipe Me Down, and Set It Off. That's the only songs I fucking know. When was the last time y'all seen Boosie on the charts? Exactly. He's a washed-up rapper turned activist, and social media did this to him. But of course, you know, blogs like The Shade Room, who put him on a pedestal, ain't gonna report on the fuck shit. But of course, you know, they report on other fuck shit. You know, the media just one very nasty place. Couldn't believe what the fuck I just heard. Rape is not okay. Period. But you know, of course, in today's society, rape against men is pretty much normalized when it comes to women. You know, no one's really gonna talk about how fucking sad and unfortunate, you know, these boys were molested, and who knows what kind of psychological damage that might have did to them. Who knows 10, 12, 14 years from now when they get older and they're going to think that it's okay for them to use women like objects. You know, a couple of years from now, you know, 12, 14, 15 years from now, who's to say that his grown-ass kids are going to be old in the near future and they feel as though they can do the same to women that a woman did to them. See what I mean? Stuff like this is just toxic, and Boosie just reinforcing negative stereotypes. Negative stereotypes. This is what I mean when I say stuff like this. So much stuff is always being normalized. Sexual molestation is always being normalized. Because a lot of times you have these grown-ass black people feeling as though that, oh no, it's okay, it's just good for them. Or it's just whatever, it's not that serious, it's just sex. Sex might just be just sex to a lot of people. But to others, it's a spiritual thing. It does a lot to a lot of people's ego. It does a lot to a lot of people's spirit. Boosie's a creep and he needs to be in fucking jail. And I really hope that his baby mother sees these videos and she takes necessary precautions. I hope she's not like one of those raggedy ass bitches who just let the baby father do whatever the fuck he wants because he got the money. He runs shit. I really hope that's not this kind of situation. Because this is fucking chaotic. Fucking problematic, y'all. Please protect your fucking kids. Please protect your kids. Keep your kids away from disgusting men like Boosie. And please, parents, it's okay to raise your child the same. People love to say things like, no, a dad has to be there. A dad should be there. A mom should be there. But that doesn't mean a mom can't teach her son to be a man. It doesn't mean that a father can't teach his daughter how to be a lady. Stop with these fucking gender roles and then getting upset when the world doesn't believe in equal or civil rights. Stop this nonsense. People are quick to scream equal and civil rights but never speak on other shit that doesn't affect them. Toxic masculinity is a box, and the minute you get out of that box, that's when life is going to be a lot easier for you. People allow their gender to speak for them. Boosie let the fact that his boys are men speak for them. And the same thing goes for his daughter. You know what's funny is I was watching his live when I was doing research, and I noticed that he was so protective when it came to his daughter.
You got to protect your daughters out here, man. You got to try to stop them from getting fucked. And when they get fucked, you got to talk to them. You got to be a part of it. Like, you don't want them not talking to you, dick.
I don't want my daughters to get fucked. Oh no, I gotta protect my little girls. But in the same breath, you'll put your sons in harm's way. You'll have some random groupie bitch suck off a 13, 14-year-old boy's penis. This is fucking disgusting, man. I'm so fucking ashamed to be a part of this fucking universe and to see people act like this. And then to see people excuse his type of fucking behavior with the... That's just how people from the South talk. People from the South just be saying shit. But then in the same breath, he lied to do damage control back in 2017 when he got condemned for it. And then now fast forward, he's fucking standing by it. See, this is what happens when we put trash people on pedestals. This is why I don't put people like Charlamagne, Joe fucking Budden. This is why I don't put people like, I don't give a fuck who it is. This is why I don't put all these celebrity men on pedestals. Because a lot of them are trash. Just fucking disgusting. Ooh, look at this. How'd that look? Doesn't that look perfect? I've never done this before. It's sizzling. So Boosie, so for everyone's gonna sit up here and say that Boosie was spitting facts when he was speaking on Dwayne Wade's daughter. Ooh, child. I'm scared for the next generation. You know, people love to sit up here and say, this generation is so fucked up. This generation is so fucked up. I'm too old to be part of this new generation, but y'all the same motherfuckers who raised the new generation. How does that make any sense? Some of y'all are the older siblings or the parents of this new generation, but then turn around and say, this generation is fucked up. I hate it here. So, Boosie, you's a dumbass. Child Protective Services, I hope they take his fucking kids. That may sound fucked up, but I don't care. Take that nigga kids. He is in no right mind to be a fucking parent and to be going on Instagram Live saying fuck shit like this. Putting his kids in danger. Who's to say that the woman who fucking forced themselves to coerce these young boys weren't infected with fucking STDs? Who's to say that these women that were coercing these boys and these women that you were forcing onto your boys, who's to say that they didn't cause some detrimental damage to these boys? Who's to say that? But they're men, they're boys. It's natural for them. See, this is what I'm talking about. People like Boosie, parents like Boosie, and people that are not condemning Boosie are the same people who are quick to reprimand the Wades. Keep the same fucking energy, like I always say. And this looks fucking amazing. So, like I said, stop making these fucking dusty ass black men the leader of the pack when they don't even care about other issues. They don't care about other issues that don't affect them. You know, people like Charlamagne are so quick to defend a black man that's being done wrong. He was so quick to show love. Charlamagne the God was so quick. And Joe Budden too were so quick to show respect and show love to A$AP Rocky and say A$AP Rocky was done horribly. He was done in injustice. But in the same breath, don't give a fuck about the whole Hyman conversation when it came to his daughter, T.I.'s daughter. It's just like, misogyny really does run the world, and it really did do a number. The same people who love to say, oh man, these white men, they reinforce these nasty rules and make it hard for black men like me, are the same men that don't give a fuck about the other rules that were reinforced on women and on men. Look up toxic masculinity and stop with. And people love to say toxic masculinity doesn't exist. Conscious community, where you at? Where you at? Because y'all quick to condemn Dwayne Wade, but y'all ain't got the same energy for molestation, for rape. Y'all only care when y'all want to bring up the fact that a trans agenda or a gay agenda is being forced on people. But here's the thing: people say that homophobia isn't real. People say that, you know, gayness is being forced on the people and trans acceptance is being forced on people. But where's this same energy when we don't condemn the people who reinforce molestation or rape culture? Where's the same energy when we have countries like fucking Nigeria that are making it legal for 11-year-old girls? Yes, the legal age for consent in Nigeria is fucking 11 years old. See, people love to say things like, oh, sexuality being pushed on children, but here's my thing. What if I say heterosexuality is being pushed on children? What if I say that a lot of parents, a lot of influencers, rappers who are against people like Zaya Wade are quick to push heterosexuality on people? And I got into this huge argument with somebody in my comment section. Somebody was like, that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Why the fuck are you saying heterosexuality is being pushed on children? And I'm just like, okay, cool. So are you implying that heterosexuality is the only normal sexuality in the world? And please don't bring up that whole, that's the way of life. We have to repopulate the earth. It's science. Interesting you mention that. It's science, huh? I like that people love to throw out the word, it's science, that's the circle of life, and the goal of life is to repopulate the earth. But in reality, does everybody have kids? Does everybody have sex? No. So what is this purpose of, that's the way of life, we have to repopulate the earth? See, this is what happens when people don't throw out their 5,000 years ideology. People don't want to throw away their 5,000 years ideology, but get mad when white people won't throw out their 800-year ideology of slavery and, you know, white superiority. And then here come the don't compare race to sexuality, even though all of it falls under the line of oppression, and all oppression is intertwined because all these rules were created by masculine, privileged, rich white men. All these rules, all these system of classism, the rich versus the poor, men versus women, white versus black, all these ideologies were created by all these privileged men that have schools named after them. The colonizers, I like to call them. But it's funny how people love to say things like, oh, that's being pushed on kids, when it doesn't fit their narrative of how things should be. Okay. When your kid decides that they want to commit suicide, and when your kid decides that they want to come home saying that they're depressed, hey, I told you so. Teach kids how to embrace who they are. Teach kids to love what they want to love. Stop forcing certain things on kids. Let them figure things out on their own. Let things come to them naturally. That's just all I'm saying. Let kids figure shit out. People over here applauding him for molestation. Y'all are fucking disgusting, man. Anyone that's gonna sit up here and defend this nonsense is disgusting. There's just no way to bop, flip, twist it, or slice it. It's gross. It's fucking rape and molestation. I'm trying to make this cook faster. But hey, what do I know? When I made my video months ago referring to Boosie and addressing Boosie in my podcast, addressing how he's a disgusting man and people shouldn't be putting him on a pedestal, everybody was silent. Any person that wanted to argue with me about Boosie being disgusting was silent. But then they were just like, well, this isn't about Boosie, this is about Wade being disgusting. Look at y'all king now. Boosie needs help. He's mentally unstable, and social media just gives him what he wants. Social media gives him the validation he wants. Social media allows him to think that he's just this high and mighty force of the culture. You know, he's just doing a lot of damage to people in general when he speaks on issues like this, and when people give him the platform to think that he's right. So fucking disturbing, man. It's stuff like this that makes me really wish that a lot of people just wouldn't have kids. It's stuff like this that makes me wish that people would enforce a rule. I wish there was a rule and a law that enforced that people have to have psych tests before they can have children. Because there's way too many people fucking up their kids drastically just like that. Man, if there was some way that that parents could take psych tests, maybe we could break traditional family curses. If we were encouraging people to get psych tests, rather than discourage them for not fitting your narrative and not following your ideologies of life, maybe life would be a lot more peaceful. But of course, this message is going to fly over people's head, and people still going to say, it's an agenda, it's an agenda. But of course, conscious YouTube is not going to speak on the fact that these little boys were sexually molested. But they're quick to say, homosexuality is this the devil. Listen, racism and homophobia is the least of our worries, okay? I think there's more important issues in the world than racism and white versus black. There's more important issues, yes, I said it, like sex trafficking and rape and children being taken advantage of. That's a bigger issue than racism. Take that, America. The wokies, that's what I have to call them. Take that, woke Twitter. I call them the wokies. Because one minute people are woke, the next minute people are one-sided about what they like to be outraged about. And I'm still to this day surprised that none of this stuff is trending. How is none of this stuff trending? How is it? But of course, you know, Boosie's not going to apologize. Because, you know, Boosie Badass, the legendary rapper that people put on a pedestal so damn much, only gets praised. So yeah, that's that for this video. This is how my French toast looks. Let me show you guys how this looks, the end result. Golden. I've never made French toast before in my life, but goddamn, these came out pretty damn good. Organic maple syrup. Tell me what you guys thought about this particular video. Please tell me that y'all are going to condemn and hold Boosie accountable despite being a fan of him, okay? He might make good fucking music, but goddamn, when do we hold people accountable for their fuck shit actions? Hold your faves accountable for doing fuck shit. I'm just saying. But yeah, that was that for this video. People should like, comment, subscribe. Just made some French toast and what else I should cook next. And yeah, that's that. Choice out this bitch. I'll just leave this right here.
No, I don't care what you say. I'm after the turning. After the keep moving. I keep moving the love. keep breathing, I keep breathing, the love, you got me roasted, love, I keep breathing, keep breathing, love, I keep breathing, keep breathing, love, I keep breathing, keep breathing, love, you got me in trouble.